British Interior Minister Suella Braverman is in a lot of trouble for the comments that she has made on a planned demonstration in London on the occasion of Saturday's Armistice Day. Suella Braverman had criticised the police for not shutting down a Palestinian protest march. Now, the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is now facing mounting pressure to sack Suella Braverman after she suggested that the police officers of Britain are playing favourites when policing protests. In an article in The Times, Suella Braverman called the rallies calling for a ceasefire in Gaza as nothing short of hate marches. She further claimed that unnamed police chiefs appear to care more about avoiding flak from tackling such protests rather than ensuring public safety. Now, Downing Street has insisted that it has full confidence in Braverman, but then it has said that it is investigating as to how her comments in an opinion piece in The Times were published without its consent. A former police watchdog chief has said that the Home Secretary's comments had gone too far and were contrary to the principle of police independence. And according to people who are familiar with the matter, the speech was sent to Rishi Sunak's office, which requested changes that were not made. Rishi Sunak has described a planned pro-Palestinian march in London on Saturday as provocative and disrespectful, and has suggested that London's Metropolitan Police should ban it.
Yeah, this is a decision that the Metropolitan Police Commissioner has made, and he has said that he can ensure that he safeguards remembrance for the country this weekend, as well as keep the public safe. Now, my job is to hold him accountable for that, and we've asked the police for information on how they will ensure that this happens.
However, the London police have said that the march does not meet the legal threshold for requesting a government order to stop it.
The remembrance events will not be disturbed. Whatever protests and other events go on, we will do our utmost to protect those because they are so critical. People shouldn't be in fear that those are going to be compromised. We will do everything possible to make sure they're not. The second point about protest, though, there will be a protest this weekend. Parliament's very clear about that. The law provides no mechanism to ban a gathering, a static protest, a rally, anything like that. There's no mechanism whatsoever to ban such a thing. And if the organisers want that, then it will happen.
London has seen some of the biggest demonstrations anywhere in the world ever since Hamas staged attacks on Israel, which resulted in Israel resorting to a relentless campaign of bombardment of the Gaza Strip. All right, now to give us more perspective in terms of this controversy that is at this moment blowing up in Britain, we're being joined in by our correspondent Julia Chapman, who's joining us from London. Now, Julia, this is something which will be watched very closely. Suella Braverman has effectively accused the London police of being biased and allowing these protest marches, and this is now going to put a lot of pressure on the Rishi Sunak's administration. Tell us, how is Rishi Sunak dealing with this?
Well, there are two issues really at the heart of this. One is that accusation of bias that was levelled by Home Secretary Suella Braverman against London's Metropolitan Police Service. And of course, that is an independent body. It shouldn't be subject to pressure from politicians, particularly the one that oversees home affairs. But then also the other issue here at stake is the relationship between a cabinet member, Suella Braverman, and the Prime Minister. As you said, any article that is published by a member of the cabinet has to be put forward to number 10 Downing Street for consideration and to ensure that all members of the government are on the same page when it comes to policy. Now, Suella Braverman did do that. However, when changes were suggested, it's understood that those changes did not end up in the final publication that came out in the Times newspaper earlier this week, suggesting a direct undermining of Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's authority. So there are lots of questions about what the Prime Minister has to do next. There is pressure for him to sack her for undermining his authority, but there are others who are simply saying that she has been expressing an unpopular view that the police force has become politicized. Now, not everyone agrees with that, and ultimately what it will come down to is whether Rishi Sunak thinks that that is a problematic stance for his Home Secretary to hold. But all of this comes as there has been this growing movement of protests week after week in London. Every Saturday we're seeing tens of thousands of people come to the streets to call for civilians in Gaza to be protected. And overwhelmingly, these do happen peacefully. There have been a handful of arrests involved. But Suella Braverman suggesting that this shouldn't be taking place on Armistice Day, the weekend when the UK marks the end of the First World War. Although the march isn't planned to go anywhere near commemorations, it's certainly circumventing those. But lots of controversy, the police saying that they do not have any grounds to ban this march, nor to call for it to be a static one. No doubt the heightened attention that has been brought to this issue by the political fallout over the last couple of days could end up seeing more people on the streets and certainly more focus on the police response to that.
Indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Julia Chapman, for joining us and getting us those details there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.